Hello, chess fans. I will show you a game from the Spanish Championship today. It was the 7th round, and there played with white Alexei Shirov, with more than 30 years amongst the top of players, already a legend of the chess. And with black played Santos Ruiz, the 20 years old grandmaster and surely the future of the Spanish chess. Well, it started with e4, e5, and they played the Spanish. Yeah, it was the Archangelsk variant with early bishop to b7, and there Shirov prepared some rarely used move, bishop to e3. Yeah, and black now can respond with the change of bishops. I'll show you some moves. Then there it is good for white, and I think it's permanent advantage for white due to the open f file, and black has no real object of his play, while the only thing can trying to do is the d5, but it's not the time yet, and after knight c3, after knight c3 and the knight d5, white will be better for whole game. So I think the right move is the Santos Ruiz d6, where Shirov changed the bishops. And now, believe or not, a4 is a novelty from Alexei Shirov. On this place, some capacities and authorities of the chess, like Ivanchuk and McShane, they played c3, but a4 is the classical Spanish move, so why not? Castling, Shirov opens the A file and develop the last piece. On this place, Santos Ruiz changed the rooks. It is a good move because when you look at this, white could play easily queen d2 and then go queen g5 after the very weak pawns of the black position. So the exchange displays a little bit the white's queen. So now look at this position. The very weak black pawns on b5, c5, e5, maybe already c7 is also a weak pawn. And the second problem of the black position is this bishop. This bishop is, provisionally biting to the concrete here. d3, e4, that's the very hard rock. So he needs to solve this problem, and he tried very good c4. Now white has to take, and b4. Yeah, look at this position now. White has some trouble with his bishop, and the black bishop is a little bit free. But white now played rook d1. The queen has to move because this variation with knight to d3 is not so good because there jumps the knight and the pawns are under pressure. So now finally Shirov jumps to the center with his knight, and knight takes, and here we could see the nice move c3. Shirov opens for his bishop the nice diagonal b1 h7, and Now black has two ways to hold the game. He tried b takes c3, and the second one was immediately to play knight to c5. I'll show you what can happen. b3 and bishop to b1. There still white has some advantage because of his bishop, and queen goes to a3 and to the game. But this looks good for black. He has the bishop on b7. It's not the bad bishop because he can handle it with the white's knight on d5 after some kind of this moves. Sorry. And then take, then go with the knight. And this pawn is the only weakness in his structure, and he can maybe give it up for some freeing of his pieces. Well, but there happened b takes in the game, b takes, and yet now with the knight to c5. When Shirov go to his diagonal, and black now tries to free his bishop with the knight moves to e5, and then bishop can take the knight, and black can play with his knights on c5, e5, then jump to d3, and it's not so bad for him. Now white has to go with the knight to the attack, and on this place f5 seems to be logical because it is trying to restrict the white bishop. But this move also loses the control on with the e6 square, where after queen a3, which was played, will go the knight. And yeah, this position is really big under pressure, and maybe the strategically is already won for white, because now the only good move for black is knight d3, and after some kind of moves white is really dominating. He takes the pawn, then start to attack the black king, and black has no objective of play. He has no good moves. So under this pressure, Santos Ruiz played the blunder. But yeah, when you are under pressure, you sometimes play the blunder. And the blunder was queen a7. I will give you some seconds to solve this puzzle. Yeah, I think everyone can find one of two winning moves. The first winning move is queen takes a7, and the second, which was used by Alexei Shirov, is knight e7. On this place, Santos Ruiz gave up. He can play with king to h8, and then after the exchange of queens, there is big move with knight f7, and this is a checkmate. Yeah, the end, the bookie end, I have to say. Very nice end of this game, and yeah, the strategy was very good from both sides, but Shirov was a better one, and the tactics was the reward for him. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.